Yes, so good day and welcome once again to Talk Your Talk. I hope everybody's fine and everybody's okay in the name of Yahuwah. Now, today you can see on the screen here, I have Don't Shame Her, alright? Now, first of all, let me lay a foundation for you so you'll understand where I'm coming from. Now, we have to understand something, that we have women, right, in our communities that do a lot of slack stuff, Some of them, when they go to parties and stuff like that, with little or no clothes on them, they behave in the most outrageous manner, and that's a fact. It does be all over social media and stuff like that. We have women who walk the street very distasteful, and it does break a fella heart, when you see his women function like that, You see they gyrating, some of them put cigarette lighter and fuel fluid on their crutches and light it and stuff like that, And then a lot of craziness is going on in our community, really crazy, okay? And then it have two sides to the craziness. You have the women craziness, and then you have the men and the young men craziness of killing each other and stuff like that, it's a whole lot of crazy. So we have to most definitely see how we could address that somehow, somewhere. We have to do that, okay? Now, so what I'm going to talk about today is a couple of videos I saw, on Facebook, right? And on social media, basically. And we have women, or like a woman, our women, who maybe is nursing her child, in public, and her breast is out and she is nursing her child. Okay. The way I look at it, I'm going to tell you up front that I see nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing. Now, what I do see wrong with the whole thing is the comments you get in the comment section from people of the same race of the woman. And I ask myself, why would they shame the woman? It's like some people will say she have to get some class. Who are you to say that? She need class. Right? Most definitely not the woman who actually posts the picture. So definitely when you're making the comments, she make the comments maybe directed at the woman, but not the woman, because it's not her who posts the picture. And maybe sometimes she never on social media, she never even see it, unless somebody tell her. But the fact that it is a woman of your own race, your own community, and you shame her, trying to shame her like that, make her feel less, it is of concern to me. Yes, it is of concern to me. And I start thinking, well, why most of our people like that? Not everybody in the comment section commented in a negative way, but why we are like that? Why is it that it is always okay for us to put down our own? Why? Why are we like that? Why are we so spoiled? We are so quick to dress down our own people. I will tell you why. You pick that up in slavery. And the way they treated you in slavery, every time you look at a mirror and you see yourself, you resent yourself. So as a result of that, when you see yourself reflected in another sister, in another brother, you hate them because you are looking actually at yourself. And you resent yourself so much that you would even bleach yourself. You wear all different kind of wrong hair on your head because you don't want to look the way you look. But how that is so? Well, let me just give you some indication, people. When your ancestors or you were in slavery on the plantation, because if it happened to your ancestors, it's just like if it happened to you, because that is in your genes right now. You see, that become your culture. That is your culture. They take over 300 years to create a culture for you. They beat you, they mold you, they twist you in every way. So that become your culture. Right? And if you awake to that reality, then you could change it. You understand? I hope you get where I'm talking about, right? No. When you're in slavery, Massa used to have our women walking around like hoes. Especially when his friends come around for the party, he pick out the most juiciest slave girls, 13, 14, little ones, and have them walking around breast exposed, just a little thing covering their groin area, and they walking around serving Massa drinks. Massa wife didn't like that because our women was getting the attention of Massa in a sexual way, because they rape our women, they do our women all these kind of nasty things they did. You understand? They rape even our young little boys, and they do that. Okay, so when Massa have you around as entertainment for the joy of himself and his friends, after the party done, right, boss lady making sure she belittle you to the less. You understand? Boss lady make sure that she make you feel that you are nobody. Your butt is big and nasty. That is what she tells you. Your breast is not good. Your hair kinky. You're black. You don't have, you're useless. Basically, that is what boss lady telling you. After a time, because after they beat that into you, you become ashamed of yourself. So even when Massa have you walking around with your breasts outside, you feel ashamed of yourself. You understand? She beat you down like that. Mind you, before we came into slavery, women never used to walk around naked. You understand? But they beat it out of you, and then they instill a different culture in you. It takes a while, but it's get embedded in there. So you feel ashamed of yourself. When you see yourself, you are ashamed. You understand? When Master raping you, we as men couldn't help you. When Master beating us on a tree, close to death, you, our sisters, you couldn't help us. And that happened for years, generation after generation. It became like a culture to us. We don't help each other. We don't like each other. That is what they did to us. That is how they spoil you. You understand? This way we have with our people, it become a part of life. That is how they spoil us. They instill that in us over a period of years. And right now, I'm seeing it happening. I'm seeing it happening with our young men. Killing each other. Killing each other for no reason. When you see your next brother, you don't like that other brother because you see yourself in him, because you hate yourself. You understand? When you see a sister, you want to treat her exactly like how slave master used to treat our sisters. And it's the same thing when a sister see a brother. That is what she's seeing, a useless person, a person that can't help her, and a person that she wouldn't help because that is embedded in her. You see, those are the things you have to look at. Those are the things you have to recognize. You understand? We are in a big mess, but we are not taking time to see the mess we are in. When things happen and my people do stuff, when I see that, I try to say, well, where this thing come from? And it's easy. You could always trace it right back to slavery. So when you're shaming a sister, you see a sister nursing her child, and you're shaming a sister and saying these degrading words to her, you should be, well, you are ashamed of yourself. You see, and you don't need to be ashamed of yourself. You're supposed to look at another sister with love. You're supposed to look at another brother with love, because that is what Yahushua said. He said, I'm going to give you a new commandment. Love one another. You understand? Because you know definitely that the greatest weapon the enemy will have against us is us not loving one another. And that is exactly what they did. They separated us in slavery. You understand? They intoxicate us with all this nasty, devilish. Wow. They did a number on us. They did a number on us. And we are seeing the effect now. You see? We are seeing the effect now. And let me just tell you this. No nations on the face of the earth love us. They don't like us. They don't. You have to understand that. They don't. So why are we contributing to the hatred they have for us by hating ourselves? When they know if we unite together, they could never conquer us. They know that more than you. You understand? Because they go all out to make sure that we fight against each other. They go all out to make sure that we don't know each other and we don't feel this sense of pride we usually feel about ourselves. They make sure about that. I'm not talking about arrogance. They make sure about that. You understand? And that is what they are doing right now. They want to destroy you. And you can't even see that yet. You have to ask yourself why they give your family planning to choke up yourself with all injection and stuff like that, sticking all different things inside you. You ever ask? Because they want to destroy you. They don't want you to procreate. They don't want you to have children. And they want to lessen down on the amount you have. Eventually you don't have any. You understand? You ever ask yourself that? You ever ask yourself why our women all of a sudden suffering with all these different kind of sickness and stuff they have outside their fibroids and everything? Because they want to destroy you. You understand? That is exactly what they want to do. Most of you are totally educated in the system of this world and the education that they give you, and it have no use to you. You understand? It has absolutely no use to you. So you have to recognize where your foolishness is coming from. The most important thing, you have to love every day your fellow human beings, your own people. You have to love them. And if you could do that, you will find. You see, the key to our salvation, the key to our freedom, the key to our upliftment is loving each other. That is all we need to do. Anytime we start loving each other and we start respecting each other the way the Most High wants us to, we will be the conquerors. But as long as we hate each other and we have these people constantly injecting hatred in our community, you understand, having us fighting against each other, we would never succeed. It is important that we knows that. It is very important that we knows and recognize that. So we don't have to shame our women. When our women is nursing a child, we have to give thanks. At least she have milk, she could feed her child. That is a blessing in itself. While some people trying to get people to stop nurse their children. You understand? You see a woman, your sister, nursing her child, and it's because you feeling ashamed of yourself. You telling her that she should be ashamed and trying to shame her. It's yourself you're looking at when you see your sister and telling her she had to cover up. You didn't see she talking. You didn't see she walking with a little piece of pants in a party and lighting. She crutch with a lighter. You didn't see that. You see she nursing her child. That is not honorable. It's time you people wake up. Stop letting these people destroy you and destroy our community. What do you think it is? We have a lot of work to do on ourselves. You know, and until we recognize how we have been duped, how we have been robbed, how we have been miseducated and led astray, until we recognize that, we'll always be in that state where we are. You see, most of you might think that you have it all nice and correct because you might have an education, you might have some money, and you might have what you call success. No, you're nobody. If you doesn't know who you are, how could you be somebody? If you doesn't love your fellow sisters and your brothers, if you don't have love, the Holy Scripture says you have nothing. And I'm not talking about this so-called love that does be running around, everybody thinking, well, I lost his love, or maybe I could friend with somebody, them is love. No. I'm talking about the love that you could even give your life for that person and for that nation, for your own people. This kind of love, the kind of love that Yahushua have for you, that he gave his life. That is the kind of love. And if you doesn't have this kind of love, you are not qualified. It's the absolute truth. You understand? Running around saying love is don't mean you love. You understand? So you have to love your sister. You have to love your brother with everything you got. You have to. You understand? And when you do such, you understand, then you could make judgment because you have a clear conscience, because love covered all sins. So if you love, you will see the light and you will see how you are in bondage. Until love enter that heart, real love enter that heart of yours, sisters and brothers, you will never see how in bondage you are. You could never, because love is not blind. When love enter your heart, you see everything. You know, you start seeing things, you're asking if you're going crazy. Because that is how love is. That is when the Ruach enters you. You understand what I'm saying? So start with loving people. Start with not trying to be so judgmental to your own people. They are not the enemy. Your people are not the enemy. The enemy is on the other side. Your people are not the enemy. You have to learn and get your people together so you could stand up against the enemy. Your people not the enemy. Don't let them destroy us from on the inside, because that is what they have been doing for hundreds of years. And they are still doing it. You know, if you want, you could ask me who is they, but you know already who I'm talking about. Because I'll already tell you that no nations on the face of the earth like us. Whether you want to believe it or not is the absolute truth. Yes, you might see a couple people who might be smiley and grinning with you. They might even take you in their home and may give you a job. Do you think they like you? No. But then, let me make it abundantly clear. There are people of other nations. I've seen a few people of the other nations, you understand, that's talk in favor of what is happening to our people. Now, mind you, the Most High already said that some people of those nations will come unto us to serve the same Elohim that we serve. You understand? And they will have a chance at eternal life also. So it's not like each and every one of them the Most High will choose. But in the meantime, the Most High tell us that our enemies will bring us in slavery. So we don't know which one of them is our friend yet. So here we're going down. These people, they are your enemies. Okay? If the Most High say they are our enemies, then they are your enemies. So then if they are your enemies, then who are your friends? Your friends are the people who looks like you. And the people that is experiencing the same thing as you, they are your friends. So when you see your sister in trouble, you uplift her. You see your sister nursing her child, don't shame her and tell her close up. Don't try to embarrass her. Don't do that. You know, don't do that. We don't know what you're doing behind closed doors. We don't know. And we do, I mean, not like we really care about what you do. We just hope that you're doing proper behind closed doors, likewise in public. You understand? But then you're trying not to shame your fellow sister. Can't you realize that other nations are shaming your sisters enough? Why do you have to contribute to it? And in the meantime, fellas, don't you realize that other nations are killing your brothers enough? Shooting them in the street like dogs. Why do you have to contribute to that? For what? For money? That is the next video. So, people, you take care, be at peace, one love, give Yahuwah the praises, and remember, love your brothers. Love your sisters. That is our salvation. Let that love flow in your home, in your village. Let it flow. Make sure about that. Peace.